guys, welcome to a short episode of Red, White, and Weekly. This is just more for fun because I love July 4th. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to put the fireworks display, Nashville fireworks display, by the one, number one in the country, as my intro, and then again as my outro. I'm not sure what I'm even going to use in the middle, so you'll see because I'm going to post it. But it may just be, some generic sort of image, but I don't know. But anyway, I wanted to get this out before tomorrow, which is July 4th, and then that begins my actual year of weekly episodes of Red, White, and Weekly, leading up to next summer, 2026, which is our 250th anniversary, or semi-quincentennial, however you want to say it. Normally I use a script. I'm not really using a script on this little short episode that I'm doing. I'm kind of just winging it. So, Nashville fireworks, number one in the nation, either by the largest or just the most popular year after year. So this is from a gentleman. I'm going to put his name at the end, and it's copyright free. Thank you for whoever you are, and I'm going to put his name at the end for uploading this, so for the general public's use. So I'm going to use his recording of the fireworks display from Nashville of last year, 2024. So enjoy, and let's get to it. So, imagine a land of red clay and dense forest where 13 colonies trembled under the weight of an empire. Well, in 1776, ragtag farmers, shopkeepers, artisans, armed more with hope than weapons, stood against the greatest power the world has ever seen. And that obviously was Britain at the time. They fought through Valley Forge, crossed Delaware's icy waters, held the line at Yorktown. They transformed fear into freedom. I can't imagine, in my lifetime, we have never had an intercontinental battle. But yes, in the past, obviously, from the Revolution to the War of 1812, to from the French and Indian War to the Civil War, obviously, I can't imagine the fear as a United States citizen, knowing somebody could walk up to my door, knock on it, and have guns and rifles and muskets and steal my property, or worse, pillage and all that stuff. And that's what these people lived with, the fear they lived with. We're so safe now in our nation that we forget what other people and other generations have gone through. So 250 years later, that same spirit powers the greatest scientific achievements humankind has ever known. And, I'm talking from the telegraph to the internet, right? From the Wright brothers' flight to Apollo. When Americans look skyward, they see a challenge, not a limit. And I remember being extremely small, very small, and my mother placing me in front of the TV. I didn't understand it. It was very staticky, nothing but snow, really. But she said, this is going to be important. Remember this. And I do remember it. I still remember barely what it looked like. It was men in spacesuits, obviously, floating around in a capsule. But, television at the time was pretty wonky. So, it wasn't the best visual, I guess, but I do remember that. Neil Armstrong, so that was 69, his words, one small step for mankind, one giant leap, right? America doesn't just dream. We do. This is a story of resilience, of unity forged in diversity, courage that defies tyrants, and technology that has redefined the possible. Can't imagine what the world's going to be like 100 years from now, after I'm long gone. What the pyrotechnics are going to look like, obviously, but just the world in general, what kind of place it's going to be. I hope it's going to be better for generations. Today, the United States stands not merely as a global power, but as a testament to what a determined people can achieve when they dream. As fireworks blaze in the night sky, let them remind us that from the flicker of candlelight in a colonial hall, which is what my series is about, to the roar of Saturn rockets, our history is lit by the enduring flame of freedom. Years of American grit, progress, and unity. Here's to a year-long celebration leading up to our nation's very special semi-quincentennial, it's not as easy as bicentennial, 250th year birthday next July 4th in 2026. And I hope you join me next week for my new episode of Red, White, and Weekly, which will begin with the olive branch petition. Enjoy this beautiful 4th of July and share it with your family. Be careful out there. And happy birthday to the United States of America. And happy July 4th.